Hey crafters, it's Darling Craftolate or Raven here. Today is the first official PENtastic Saturday, where you guessed it, every Saturday I make a new polymer clay pen tutorial for you guys. Today, in honor of my birthday yesterday, I decided to make a rainbow cake inspired pen. I also decided to add a cake slice to the top and paint on happy birthday, but you can customize this pen however you wish. For this tutorial, you will need the clay colors for the rainbow, and I chose to use pastel versions of the rainbow colors, an icing color of clay, and I am doing a vanilla icing, so I'm using white. If you decide to customize this pen, you can use whatever colors you wish for your topper. You're going to need your preferred tools. I would suggest blades, some kind of texturing tool, and maybe tweezers. You're going to need a pen that is bakeable, some pliers to remove the ink, and optional, a paintbrush to put up the pen when you take the ink out to make it easier to work with. If you're doing a cake slice, this is optional. You can use a circle cutter like I'm going to use. You're going to need a rolling pin or a pasta machine. You're going to need some sort of liquid clay, like Bacon Bond, translucent liquid Sculpey, or Fimo Deco gel. You're going to need wire if you decide to secure your topper better, and a container to mix your icing, or you can mix it on a piece of parchment paper or anything like that. To clean your creation before baking, you may consider using acetone or rubbing alcohol and some cotton swabs. To give this pen a finished look, you're going to need some glaze and some paint if you're going to paint on some words, and brushes and a dotting tool. Now here we go. First, you want to make a whole bunch of sprinkles, and you do this by rolling very thin snakes of all your rainbow colors and then just cutting off some sprinkle size pieces. And because I'm doing a mini cake slice as the topper, I'm also going to make some miniature sprinkles. After you have made all your sprinkles in all the different colors and sizes, it is time to pre-bake them, and you want to bake them at the temperature according to your package instructions for 3 minutes. Next, you want to roll out all the different colors of cake you're going to have, as well as the icing, and you just want to roll these as flat as you can if you're using a rolling pin. I do this on the second thinnest setting on a pasta machine. Next, you want to cut out all the strips of cake that are going to be on your pen. I used regular ruled paper and cut out a line and a half to use as a guide, just to make sure all the cake sections were the same size, but you may do this by hand or whatever you wish. Then you want to line them all up and add some white clay or whatever icing color you're using in between the layers. If you choose not to do this, that is totally fine. You could just make all the cake layers up the pen, just make them a little bit wider. I also added a strip of icing to where the purple is at the bottom, as well as a thicker section on the top where the sprinkles will go. Next, I trimmed the top, and then I rolled it together in both directions just to make it a little bit more secure, and then created a flat edge on one end using my blade. Next, you're going to remove the ink from the pen because you cannot bake the ink. Next, you slowly want to manipulate the clay onto the pen, and you just want to roll it, and then just trim off the excess and go ahead and blend your pen together and create a round top. And don't worry about the lines being too straight because you are putting icing on and it will hide that issue. You just want to give it a quick roll. I use a paintbrush just to put up the pen to make it easier to work with. Make sure to pop any air bubbles and smooth them out. Next, I decide to clean my clay with a cotton swab and some acetone. Then you want to use a needle tool or the back of a blade to add some texture to all the cake portions of the pen. You do this by gently poking and pulling in all different directions. This may take a while, but just have patience. And this is what it looks like. And then I went ahead and I cleaned up the bottom just by trimming it. Next, we're going to make the cake slice, and I just did this by layering the cake exactly like it was done on the pen with circles of clay. You can do a tinier circle if you're only doing one cake slice, but you can also do a larger cake and then just cut a slice out. You want to put your tower in the fridge for 5 to 15 minutes. Then I went ahead and I trimmed it to be more of a cake slice shape. Then you want to add another rolled out sheet of white clay to the outside for the icing or whatever icing you're using, and then just trim off the excess. And go ahead and blend it in a little bit. Just like on the pen, I'm going to go ahead and texture each of the cake sections with my needle tool. And then you can take a ball tool and just add some squigglies to the icing just to add a little bit of texture there. Next, we're going to create the icing, and I just did this by adding little pieces of white clay and then some liquid clay to it and mixing it and mixing and mixing. It could take quite a while to make it, but just be patient. You can set that aside and create the stand for your topper. I created a circle using the same cookie cutter I did for the slice, and I just decided to do it in the mint. And then I just added the stand to the top of the pen, and I used a wire and some TLS to secure it. also to be able to secure the cake slice. On the half of the pen that has the side of the cake slice, you want to add the icing using a dyeing tool or similar tool to each of the white sections of the pen. Then after that, go ahead and add the icing onto the cake slice. After you've iced this half of the pen, you want to go ahead and add sprinkles to the top section and to the cake slice, using larger sprinkles on the pen and the smaller sprinkles on the cake slice. Then you want to go ahead and pre-bake this at 265 Fahrenheit or temperature for your pen and oven. Then after your pen has cooled, you want to go ahead and add icing to the other half of your pen. We do this in sections just to make sure that everything bakes properly and none of your icing gets flattened by whatever you're baking on. And you want to go ahead and add the rest of the sprinkles to the top section of the pen. And finish off the baking for 10 to 20 minutes at 265 Fahrenheit or the temperature for your pen and oven. This is how my pen came out of the oven, and if you would like, you can add a custom message to the very top, and I'm just painting happy birthday. I'm curious, what's your guys' favorite kind of cake? Mine is carrot. Let me know in the comment section down below. Next, you want to go ahead and glaze your pen. For the glaze, I decided to glaze the icing portions 5 times and then dab the cake parts twice. Glazing the cake portions is completely optional, but I always like to just to protect my creation. And this is how my rainbow cake pen came out, and I'm really happy with the overall design of it. I think it's super cute, and I like that I used pastel colors, even though I think it'd still look really cute in the original vibrant colors as well. Again, you can customize this pen however you wish by changing out colors or the cake topper or even painting on a different message. Thank you guys all so much for watching and joining me for PENtastic Saturday. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more crafty goodness. It would mean a lot to me, and I'll see you guys all soon. Bye! Hey guys, did you know I have a giveaway going on in honor of my birthday? For additional entries, make sure you answer the question I asked during this tutorial in the comment section down below, and also make sure you entered on the original video. All this information and more is in the description box down below. If you enjoyed this video, you might like my previous 2 pen tutorials. You can find their links in the description box or just click the screen.